Got a good crop of persimmons this year. Took some cuttings from last year. Maybe put some stores away with some extra foods, people. I see the fertilizer broke into the dam. Even the fertilizer's running out to fertilize their land for the next crop. Well, it's all gone down the river. I thought it was 30,000, 33,000 empty homes in New Zealand. And what's all that about? What's all that about? Well, just look at just observations of my own. Well, the house here was bought for, well, it was on for $500,000. Just over 10 years ago. Here I am in Aotearoa, New Zealand. My friend's up there watching me on the post. I feed them each day. So from $500,000, but because my mother had cash at the time, because I'm from Rakino Island, got it for $400,000. You know, because you want to live in the means of having cash, because you get into those debts and that, and you'll have to take up that number of 666 or Jesus on your forehead to be able to fix your debts. And Cain's will. Or was that Jehovah? Well, anyway, we're talking about homeless here today, Bruce, so stick on what's happening. So, and you see, like, we got homeless here in New Zealand. Well, people would have seen me as homeless not long ago, you know. I was just living underneath my tree. But I own my property, you know, like it's an inheritance from my father. Might be worth $500,000, but I don't want the cash, man. Like he said to me, my father said, Bruce, one thing, they're not making land. So, even if you sell something, you know, you go and buy something else, well, hey, you can go and make that. You can grow your own food. But you can't make the land. So I take my father's advice and I'm not going to let it go. I've said to you that I'm, you know, I will share it. Ones who are willing to work for their keep. Come and enjoy the land I got in Aotearoa, New Zealand, Great Barrier Island. Over probably 1,000 acres of the nearest neighbour on the Pacific Ocean in the east. Well, anyway, homeless. I was homeless there. People would have looked at me as homeless there. Some used to call me a hermit. I'd just live underneath my tree. I was happy with that. Just talking. So these empty houses, 30,000. It was 33,000, Bruce. Get it right. The newspaper clipping. So why would they be empty? Okay, so that house there, $500,000 on the market, got it for $400,000. The neighbour's house next door here sold for $1.2 million. Wow, that's a double in price. Hey, that's better than leaving money in the bank or loaning it to you guys and running up your debts on it. Better off putting money in these houses. It creates more money than giving out loans. In 10 years, it's doubled in price. What? 1.2 there. That's $600,000 and they're still not selling. So this is out in Aotearoa, New Zealand. So they know that there's a lot of value in this land over here. So you know what these people haven't really worked out what these elites are doing and all this and that. Of all this money thing and all. Okay, so then we go back to homelessness. And we see that there's 30,000 empty houses. 33,000 empty houses. They'd rather just keep them empty than put them out for rent and stuff like that, you know, because people damage it and this and that and blah blah, and they make more money out of, like, look at it, $600,000 doubled in 10 years. Yeah, I think that's more than what you'd have to make out of rent or having put up with that. And you know, they got heaps of money. They don't need to, because they have to pay tax on generating things. If it's just sitting there, well, there's all these sort of aspects. So we got homeless here in New Zealand, and look, all those empty homes. But I tell you what, because I get around the streets, I hang out with all sorts, and some of these guys will say to me, hey, I might be homeless, but at least I'm not. The rent goes through the roof here. $300 for a single room, or more, in some of these boarding houses. And people in the sickness, the government's topping that up. The working class people don't really know how much their tax money's going into this sort of stuff, eh? You know, like $300 for a single guy in a room, and then he has to get topped up on top of that on his sickness benefit to be able to pay for his room and to have a little bit of food each week, and go around and pick up butts and this and that because they got nothing else. Or they just choose to, even if they've got money, because hey, why waste it? Somebody's going to throw something on the ground for 50 cents. A packet over here these days is $26 for the cheapest pack of 20s. Compare that to your prices, I bet you we might have the dearest cigarettes in New Zealand. And well, I see heaps of these illegal ones getting imported and that. Or what do they do? Sneak them or whatever from other countries. It's just a little clip of the moon here, because a new subscriber just showed me of this moon over where he is, and yeah, and I see my shadow's on the opposite side to where he is, which just shows me things, but then he's another side of the world, or so they say. I'm come across somebody else who's showing us that how small the world really is to what they have on their GPS and this and that, but it must be all to do with that spin, what they've invented, like, you know, spinning around like this, blah 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 blah, because you know, like Rick Spear, we're conspiracy scientists. So these homeless people, I talk to them and you know, I know these other people, and they got these mortgages, and they get behind at times, so they go get on the credit card and top up their mortgage with that. Oh, they're paying extra interest again. But the homeless guy on the street, he doesn't really, you know, he's just seen it and all this and that, but he's not running up no debt, you know. He must be in his head, I've chosen not to take no number. Oh, 666, or Jesus on my forehead to be safe, because I'm not running up no debt, even though he might not have nothing in other people's eyes, and he just looks like a degraded sort of part of society, but at least he's not running up a debt like all these 9-to-5ers going to work, trying to pay off their mortgages, struggling really hard because they get taxed on this, they get that. Over here you get taxed on top of your food, on top of you going to work and working for your money and giving them tax ways like that. Then you got to go and pay tax for everything you buy. It's the working class who's missing out, because I've done a business course before, and hey, business people can just write off this and that, and I know other people put shelf companies together. I've seen a lot of things in this world, and you know, could explain to you about stuff. So at least the homeless person not creating the debt like the 9-to-5er, but they think they're getting there, this and that. Oh yeah, no, we've still got another 20 years on our mortgage. Oh, but we've had to top up the credit card and all this and that. And there's been people who have had to foreclose on their houses around the place and that, because they can't afford paying it anymore. Oh my God, still running. I have to check my phone every now and then, because it just does these sort of things. They like playing little games with me. And you know what, I put myself right out there, and you know, but because I've met, you know, things along the way, and I'm going, I know you guys think, this guy is too much. He says he meets this and that. But, hey, at least I know some things. And he said to me, you want the easier road, you got to pay the tax. And I realised sort of things like that. You know, because you got to go and have a birth in a hospital. And when you're in trouble, you need somebody. You know, people on the need help, and that's what the police are there to help people at times, you know. But there's corruption. Okay, there's the corrupt one. One shot somebody walking down the street in America yesterday because he was holding out his finger with a quarter in it. Things happen. Okay, my nephew got shot by the police. I understand things. There's corruption. Okay, I found forgiveness is power. You know, you can't keep hating them, because I tell you what, you'll start eating yourself. Okay, just throw that in. So the homeless person could be far better off than the person who's paying the mortgage, choosing to do that. You know, them paying for a roof over top of your head, 6, 7, well, single guy, $300 for a room. They're not running up no debt. Okay. Yeah, there's this bigger picture, what they're seeing. And others can just look at them like fucking degenerate to society or this and that. But, hey, they might be more switched on what you guys think. And, yeah, quite a clear sky here today. That must have run out of fuel or something. No, they'll just dig another hole or something like that, eh? That's what they go on about plastic waste and all this and that. You know, you can generate it back into that liquid. Nobody's actually doing that. But about these empty houses, because I've thrown up this point about New Zealand, somebody else might really get right into it and see how many empty houses are in the whole world. And then put together, like here, you can pretty hard to find a house under $1 million in Auckland, eh? They're selling $800 for a duplex. So, yeah, prices have just gone through the roof. But these people who've got these empty houses, well, they've just doubled their money in the last 10 years. Yeah, so the money just keeps going up and up and up. How much do they really need? As I said, they've already got a bottomless pit. What they would have given to that shooter, what was his name? Lee Henderson? They could have used him, but they got him on a different job. They used this other guy, Brandon or something. I just threw that name out to just throw something out there that, I know what's going on in this zoo. So I love yous all, and peace out. Peace within first, because the other one's going to take a little bit longer.